The sun was rising as I walked through the empty streets of Rishikesh, doing my best to avoid the mangy dogs and stray cows that were roaming around. In spite of the early hour, I could hear the road traffic with the beep beep beeps of the auto rickshaws and the motorbikes whizzing by. I also heard my dear departed friend Nancy de Herrera whisper in my ear from the other side, "Go visit my ashram." Nancy met Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in the early 1960s, and she became his right-hand person for many years. She was the one responsible for overseeing the Beatles' visit to Maharishi's ashram in Rishikesh in 1968. Later that day, my dear friend and holy woman, Sadhviji, took me on the 15-minute walk from her ashram to Maharishi's, or what is now referred to as the Beatles Ashram. We went to the beautiful lush grounds. We saw all the beautiful trees and the winding pathways and some unusual stone teepee-like meditation huts. However, most of all the other buildings were in disarray. No doors, no windows. They had been deserted for decades. However, the main meditation hall had recently been restored, and there were several brilliantly painted murals of Maharishi and the Beatles. Having read Nancy's memoir many, many times, it was so much fun to actually see it all for myself. Of course, it would have been better if Nancy had been there regaling us with her wild and crazy and true stories about the times she spent with John Lennon, George Harrison, Donovan, Mike Love, and the entire gang. It's hard to believe that all of that happened more than 50 years ago. When the Beatles were at Maharishi's ashram, they were inspired to write the White Album, and one of the songs on the White Album is called Bungalow Bill. John Lennon wrote it about Nancy and her son Rick Cook. One of the amazing things that began to happen in Rishikesh is that whenever I desired something, it manifested even before I realized I had a desire. I'll give you an example. One afternoon I was really hungry and I was craving rice and some mildly cooked veggies. Within an hour, Sadhviji spontaneously sent a messenger to my hotel to deliver this exact meal. Another day, while I was walking through Tapovan, the main shopping area of Rishikesh, I began wishing for a red string blessing from a sadhu. And voila, a man dressed as the Hindu monkey god Hanuman appeared before me, and as he chanted and blessed me, he tied a red string on my wrist. Another instantaneous manifestation. Nearly every day in India, I experienced unexpected magic and guidance. Deepak was right when he told me that in India, spirit is not difficult to find, it's impossible to avoid. One of the greatest gifts India has given the world is the healing power of yoga. I've just created 10 videos with several of the world's top yoga teachers. It's called Healing the Heart Yoga Series, and it can be yours for free when you order my book. All of the details are now at thelovethief.com.